I'm going to do a little clicking and go back to the epic menu of Hearthstone. Because, ladies and gentlemen, only the Hearthstone music can appropriately bring us in to Wednesday, December 18th, 2013. And welcome to the Day 9 Hearthstone Decktacular Episode 3, where we're going to learn to be a better gamer. And per my usual theme, as we would do in a StarCraft daily, we're going to get better by looking at someone else who's good. Oh! How fantastic. In today's show, we're going to be looking at the Control Paladin formed by Koyuki, or as I call him, Sensei Case. He is a current legend status player in Hearthstone. I think last I checked he was like NA rank 7. I don't mean like level 7 that has like the Sunwalker. I mean like he's a legend and is like the 7th on the entire North American server. I think maybe he's 20. He's good and we're going to steal his stuff. Now before we begin the show, I need to note that in the last several Hearthstone Decktaculars we've done, whatever we do a show on gets promptly nerfed. So maybe Paladins are coming up next. Either way, this deck's really good. And I hope to be able to use it to level up. I was a level 10, and then I tumbled to level 11 last night and went on sick tilt, where I'd win a game and lose a game and win a game and lose a game, and that star would form and it would disappear and it would form and it would disappear, and I'd be like, come on, just go over the edge! And it would never quite do that. Maybe it's going to happen live on air, in which case I might be the greatest gamer that Hearthstone has ever seen. Just saying. Not literally, but emotionally. It'll feel that way. Let's talk a little bit about the Paladin. I'm going to go to my typical Paladin. You'll notice it's blank. Because I want to talk a little bit about what the Paladin normally does, as people would do it, and why the Control Paladin's sort of interesting and notable. I'm sure many of you have seen the sort of gimmick mage that was in the last, maybe it was last show, yeah, wow, weeks go by quickly, that relied on freezing spells, Frost Nova, Cone of Cold, Blizzard, all this sort of stuff, to delay the game as much as possible. But the Paladin, that most people tend to build, revolves around a couple of key cards. First of all, buffs like Blessing of Might, excuse me, or the Blessing of Kings as well. Give a minion +4/+4. We also have a True Silver Champion, which is just a great, great card for removing threats. That kind of thing. We even have the Sword of Justice. Is probably one of the big key cards that really gets people totally aroused and hunkering to play the Paladin. Oh my god, whenever you summon a minion, it gets +1/+1. So imba. And of course the Argent Protector. Give a friendly minion Divine Shield. So I mean, a lot of decks are built around the thought process of these. And of course you'll probably hear me joke about the just super ultra standardly good cards start to, go into building the framework of most other decks. Most of the Paladin decks. Most Paladins are just beatdowns. One of the most notable things about the Paladin is the hero power. How do I show the hero power here? There we go. The summon a 1/1 Silver Knight recruit. This is why so many of the Paladin decks are beatdown, because you can summon a target for those buffs. Perfect. That's what most people tend to be doing. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other notable cards that we have going for us. Yeah. So, first and foremost, if we look at the current metagame, some of the most of the decks are this Warlock beatdown thing right now, or the Mage Mega Freezy thing. I'm going to ignore the sort of metagame things for now, and just note, let's try to go for an endgame style Paladin. So we're going to go for Tyrion Fordring, which if you've never seen is amazing. He has Divine Shield and Taunt, and when he dies you get a 5/3 weapon. Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Avenging Wrath is a sickeningly good spell. It's only 6 mana for dealing 8 damage, and it's randomly split across characters, which means that if he has nothing, you're just dealing 8 damage to the face. It's like a really cheap Pyroblast. But also, if he has a whole bunch of minions, it's a really clean way to sweep a bunch of stuff as well. Also, Lay on Hands is just a really good card draw sort of thing. And you know what, let's not forget Ragnaros is just a nice end game. I want to briefly interrupt and note that most of the decks that I've looked at thus far has been kind of like a combo. Delay to a point and then kill him at the very, very end. This is a little bit more of a sort of even curve across, but the general theme is that since we're going to be control... Oops. Since we're going to be control, we want to be trying to win in the late game and stay alive in the early game. So one of the other unbelievably amazing cards is Equality. These are sort of some late game cards, some really amazing late game finishery type stuffs. But Equality is amazing. Change the health of all minions to 1. And one of the core pieces to this deck is the Wild Pyromancer as well. After you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. I want you to just think about this. If you play a Wild Pyromancer, and then play Equality, it sets all the minions' health to 1, and then the Pyromancer deals 1 damage to all those things that now have 1 health. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Boom! This is always going to be an extremely effective combo. Let me show you some of the other pieces to the deck that are totally dope. Let's do some simple board clearing stuff. Hammer of Wrath. Deal 3 damage and draw a card. Consecration. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. What are some of the other ones that we're going to throw in? Oh yeah, here is another great late game tool that I completely forgot to talk about. The Guardian of Kings. This is just an insanely good card. You get 6 health, and you get a 5/6. There's a pretty good amount of things in the game that deal 5 damage, but not a lot that deals 6 damage. So, already this is looking like the next nerf target for Blizzard! Oh! Quick, Day 9's doing a show. Delete everything. So we can pretty much see our late game with the big cards near the bottom. And then we kind of have some sweepery, clear the board type things early on. True Silver Champion, another really amazing value to clear the board with. Let's see, what are the other things that I wanted to look at in here? Okay, cool. Now, if you play this deck a lot, what you'll start to notice is that oftentimes the Wild Pyromancer Equality combo's kind of hard to get off. Throwing in 1 Elven Archer is amazingly useful for just a little bit of extra value, a little bit of a higher chance of hitting with the Pyromancer. Also, the Elven Archer is really nice at just removing Divine Shield because it deals 1 damage. I really like running 1 Elven Archer. What you'd also notice if you continue to run the game for a while is that you don't quite have enough stuff to remove all the early threats. So you can run, where is he? Yeah. So you can run 1 Wolf Rider. I'm going to be running 2 today because screw subtlety, man. Let's just throw it in. So if we look at this point in time, let me make sure that I'm not forgetting any cards. I don't think I am at this point. If we look right now, pretty much everything up to 4 is purely removal. It's purely clear the board and get rid of his crap. Everything over here at the high end is really the sort of finishing type stuff. And I just want to remind you, because we have the summon the 1/1 recruit spell, just a hero power, we can always be summoning that if nothing's going on. We don't really have to worry. Now I want to talk about some... I'm not really going to call this... This isn't really a metagame comment. Before I even make that, let me just note, to define metagame, it's what everyone's kind of doing right now. Alright, cool. So for instance, if literally nobody is running any aggressive deck, I'm going to be cutting down on a lot of these things in the front because no one's really running. There's no real use for them. That said, you can't just listen to the metagame. You can't just say, well, I haven't seen a lot of aggro, so I'm going to completely remove it. I'm gonna make some numbers up. I feel like I don't know, 2/3 of the deck at least should make sense in a vacuum. And then you can do some metagame things as final touches, which we'll be doing today. So again, this is just, well, no matter what's going on in the metagame, we have some removal for things and some finishers for things. Good. Now here's where, I know there's one more. Oh yeah, so here's an example of an interesting card to add to this. Fairy Dragon I like a lot. Can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Now, regardless of what's going on in the metagame, whether there's a lot of aggro decks or a lot of control decks, whether it's mages or druids, I want to be able to do something against the control-y type decks, and this is a great card to do that. Can't be targeted by spells or hero power, so I'll toss this out, or I'll toss this in the deck, because if I, for instance, play it against a mage, I don't care if he's an aggro mage, I don't care if he's a control mage, he can't target my Fairy Dragon, so I can just get in some damage. Also, what's very, very nice about this versus aggro decks is it's just another card to get in the way of him, so it's not so bad there. So now let me talk about some game plays. There are a lot of burn decks, like the mage deck, or the mage giants deck. So I'm going to put in one Holy Light, restore 6 health. Yay! I'm also going to put in one Earthen Ring Farseer, which is this dude. Oh goodness, I forgot one of the other key cards. One thing that you'll probably notice. Let me actually pull back this Earthen Ring Farseer, pull back the Holy Light, and pull back the Fairy Dragons. So again, we kind of have our removal stuff. Look at this. This deals 1 damage, set all minions to 1 health, deal 1 damage to all minions. This deals 3 damage. I'm treating this Wolf Rider like just a removal spell. This deals 4 damage, this deals 2 damage, this deals 3 damage. We don't have a good way to deal with a huge threat. That's where this Aldor Peacekeeper comes in. It might have a lot of health, but we're just going to set its attack to 1 with the Aldor Peacekeeper. Okay, now that I've done that, now I'm going to do the more metagamey plays. Wow, there's a lot of burn. I'll get a Holy Light. Wow, there's still a lot of burn, and I'm looking for just a little bit more health gain. So let me run this Earthen Ring Farseer. Put the Fairy Dragon in there, like we did before. So now we have a few cards left. The aggro decks have been giving me some trouble, and there's a lot of them, like the Warlock, so I will run an Abomination. You know what's also really common? Running Ragnaros right now. So I will run a Big Game Hunter. Here it is, destroy a minion with attack of 7 or more. Doo-doo-doo. If, for some reason, there were way more aggro decks and a lot less Ragnaroses and Giants and huge dudes in play on the scene, I would probably swap this out and put in something else. But because that's what I see, I'll be putting the Big Game Hunter. Also, a great way to extend the use of my big dudes and to battle other people who are playing big dudes is to do a 5 mana cost Faceless Manipulator. Now, I think I screwed up something. Oops, I accidentally put in 2 Earthen Ring Farseers. What would a deck be without Sylvanas? Perfect. So, alright, great. We talked about how we have this end game that has the Avenging Wrath, Guardian of Kings, Ragnaros and Tyrion, big killer dudes. We talked about how a lot of this early stuff is removal. And then we talked about some of the cards that we're putting in because of what's going on the scene right now, which would be the Holy Light to heal, Earthen Ring Farseer to heal, Abomination because there's a ton of the aggro things, Big Game Hunter because there's a lot of Ragnaroses and Giants out there, and then Faceless Manipulator because it not only can I clone one of my own creatures, but if he plays something huge, I can do that too. So this is my vague understanding of the deck. It's the same thing as this Control It in here, but I'm going to go with my aptly named Control Paladin. Let's play a single game, go to break, and then let's battle. for a lot of times. So this deck is not cheap, and I don't care. Now, I will also remind you that I will make some misplays because I'm not great. But I try real hard, and that's what's important.
I will fight with honor.
So generally speaking, I've been struggling a lot against shamans, and I think it's almost purely because I don't know how to play against it. Case Kiyonaga, aka Koyuki, used this deck to get to legend rank, so it's certainly good. With shamans, I'm never sure whether to clear his board or whether to just ignore his totems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these cards because this is an early removal, this is an early removal, and this helps with early removal. Tyrion, I'm not going to be casting for a long time, so I'm going to send him back. Oh, yes, I have both my qualities. Oh, it's so good. Alright, perfect. This is going to be really nice. One thing that Big Game Hunter is great against is the Earth Dude. The Earth Elemental. Now, as an example of the Wolf Rider in action, I'm just going to use it right away to kill off his Knife Juggler. Ta-da! That's what I mean by using it as a removal spell. So next turn, we're pretty much just going to play a Silverhand Recruit. Isn't it great that I removed the Knife Juggler? So I didn't have to beat up against double feral wolfy guys. Perfect. So just playing a Silverhand Recruit is something that has been happening a lot with me in this deck. Do. Alright, random totem. He's probably gonna hit me. Okay. Generally when players are doing that, where they're hitting the 1/1s instead of me, it makes me think that he's really scared of buffs. Because we kind of began this show by talking about what other paladins are typically doing. So I'm never really in a huge hurry. Yeah, I'm never really in an absolutely tremendous hurry with this deck. This is just a very solid little way to play.
For justice.
So I'm definitely going to be taking this guy out.
For justice.
The question is, what do I want to do otherwise? I mean, technically, I could Consecration and kill that, but I don't see any reason to Consecrate right now. I'm in no stress. I think I might Hammer of Wrath this guy. So I think this is definitely going to happen, because it's the only target, and I have my other True Silver in here. Seems to be aggressive. I'm probably going to Hammer of Wrath it. I could go for Reinforce, but then I couldn't do anything else. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Job done.
Perfectly good card. So now I can Consecrate and Fairy Dragon next turn. Oh, can I ever Consecrate?
My shield.
Oh, can I ever not Consecrate? Oh my goodness. Okay, so if we Consecrate, we're going to kill off everything. So there is the equality. Okay, so I'm kind of talking over myself because I think as many of you have seen in StarCraft, I'm really bad at talking and playing at the same time. I can either play or talk. Now that we're doing both in Hearthstone, we thank everything that it's a turn-based game. So here, I could, for instance, play the Wild Pyromancer and then throw down Equality and sweep his whole board. But I'm going to prefer to use Consecration here because I think Equality is just so good. More importantly, if I save the Equality, I also get to have the Wild Pyromancer at the end. So whatever card he next plays, I basically have something that can deal 3 damage to. Even though Equality Pyromancer feels amazing,
I have no time for games.
As amazing as it feels, I see no reason. To finish the end of my sentence. Yeah, even though it feels amazing, I do believe that the regular Consecrate is undervalued with Pyromancer. So I think I'm just going to do a very straightforward, annoying play. Kill Sylvanas. I'm going to take some damage here. I think that's okay. I'm not positive, though. And then I'm going to play a Fairy Dragon, because he can't target it. Guardian of Kings will bring me back to 25 health. I like that. Okay, damaged Golem is fine. Mega Dude is also fine. He's gonna rock biter me, which is also fine. So I think it's pretty clear that he is an aggressive deck. Oh, okay. So that will equality. Okay, yeah, so here is a situation where I'm going to do the equality stuffs. Just to clear it. He's gonna get his 2-1 back.
For justice.
Now, one could argue that this is a bad play. Why? Because Forked Lightning is a spell that says target 2 creatures and deal 2 damage to each of them. If I have just the Fairy Dragon out, he can't use it. But, this is fantastic news. But I still think it's good enough to toss out because he's been super aggressive, so he's probably going to be a little bit more on the creature-y end. I think I'm just going to do the straightforward, annoying play and do this. Now, what's great is that I have Equality and Elven Archer, and I have a Big Game Hunter. If he plays Ragnaros, I can kill a Big Game Hunter. If he plays an Earth Elemental, I can kill a Big Game Hunter. If he has any unit in the game, I can kill it with Big Game Hunter. So I'm going to be saving that to Oven Archer. So I treat this almost exclusively as a removal spell, so I'm just going to chill and remove things with it. I'm in no hurry. I try not to be in a hurry is what I should say. I'm fairly certain that I shouldn't be in a hurry in this spot. If you disagree or you think there's other ways that you should be playing in these spots, totally build a deck and give it a shot. Because remember, I might not be the best, but I try very hard. Alright, perfect. We're going to try to dodge a Taunt Totem. Good. I don't know if I want to use Wolf Rider to kill the Fairy Dragon. This is the one thing that is nice. Alright, Lightning Storm. Okay, great. Lightning Bolts. Okay, cool. This is, in my eyes, pretty good news, because we have a lot of cards. He seems to be pretty aggressive, and most of our cards are awesome. I am Haunter in chat is talking about 3 crystals pretty expensive for 3 damage removal. I do agree. I think that is absolutely. Oh yeah, I love that spell. I'm not going to be using it yet. Not by a long shot. I am going to do this though. Get popped in the head, nerd. I do agree that Wolf Hunter is not the best removal at all. But if I need 8 removal spells and I only have 6, I'm happy to take a weak removal. This is kind of a weird spot. I'm actually wondering if I need to Avenging Arrows here. What I really need is a removal spell on this stupid healing totem. Huh. I'm gonna wait just one more turn. Faceless Manipulator is great if there's a target. Notice that if he plays Ragnaros, I can facelessly manipulate, and then Big Game Hunters, boom, 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 boom. Alright, I'm taking 1 damage a turn. He's got all his totems ups. I still don't think it's correct. How many cards do we have? This is truly where I'm not positive of what the best choice is. I don't think using an Avenging Arrows to kill his hero power totems is the best. Especially when I would need to Equality and Avenging Wrath. Okay, that's a pretty good excuse to shoot. Let's see what we draw. Oh, there it is.
I have no time for games.
Reporting for duty.
I actually could have facelessly manipulated and become another Sylvanas, and that was probably the correct thing to do. Because he's gonna Hex. Hurts real bad. The excitement within him grew. I got too excited. What an error. I think we're gonna have to do a little equality. I think I'm gonna have to do this. Let's see what we hit. It's a good spell.
Reporting for duty.
Maybe I could have... Oh, Bloodlust will kill me. Completely forgot that Bloodlust existed as a spell.
Well played.
Isn't that newbie of me? Isn't that awfully newbie? Well, we're not the best. Guys, I have a plan. Alright. Watch this. Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and become a copy of this. Let's destroy it, and let's heal back up. Didn't that work out well? And you know what I think would be good next turn? Healing for 8 and drawing 3 cards. I'm increasingly happy with my hooray I didn't facelessly manipulate my Sylvanas. Whether it was the correct decision or not to use the Faceless Manipulator on the Sylvanas, it was incorrect for me to spend no time considering it. Well, this is good. He hasn't hexed anything yet. So that helps us. I also have the opportunity to draw my Ragnaros with this Lay on Hands.
I wonder.
I wonder. Alright, he's playing Feral Doge. Fire Elemental. It's great. I think what he's trying to do is go for the sick beats, so let's go ahead and heal. Oh! Oh, dude. Oh, we're in good shape. Who thinks we're gonna hit the 6-5? Because I think we're gonna hit the 6-5. I didn't have a good read. We are in fantastic shape. Aldor Peacekeeper means that we can neutralize this. We can also play a Guardian of Kings in the same turn. Alright, so he's going to be trading. That's great. I'll note that not only have we not played our own Ragnaros, we haven't drawn it, and we have not drawn Tyrion. And we have 5 cards left in the deck. Come on. Come on. We're getting a trade in. That's great. Alright, cool. That's going to get neutralized. Now, I want to be able to see my cards.
Follow the rule.
So I think we have 6 cards in our hand. I think it is correct to play this. Okay, Guardian of Kings, #1 favorite card in the game. Justice. Oh my god, when he attacks, he's like, vengeance. And I'm like, oh yes! Say it again! Oh, it feels so good. Uh-oh, I've moved my entire monitor setup. Alright. Fair trade.
Drink with me, friend.
He's returning it to the hand. What do you know? What do you know? It's in his hand. So, 8, 3, got him. Alright, guys. Who's excited?
Job done.
Who's pumped? I'm thinking he's gonna play an Alder Peacekeeper. Or excuse me, he's gonna play an Earth Elemental. I think we got him. This game is slow, by the way. This game is taking a little bit of time. What do you know, Joe? What's an Earth Elemental? Shot me with lightning. What do you know? Alright. Uh-oh. Alright. In a poetic ending to part 1, we're gonna kill him with the Elven Archer. Remember how I talked about utility? Go around your problem. Alright, so when we come back, we're gonna see this deck continue to go to battle with a little bit of celebration. Because I have a win streak, and I'm a level 10 Ogre Magi. We'll be back for part 2 in about 3 minutes.